In this video, we're going to talk about the iconic tree of the tropics, a plant so incredibly versatile it's called the tree of life. Seriously, from its amazing journey across the world's oceans to its central role in so many cultures, we are diving deep into everything that makes the coconut palm one of the most fascinating plants on Earth. So here's what we've got lined up. First, we'll get to know the tree itself. Then, we're going to track its incredible journey across the globe, understand how it lives, explore all of its amusing uses, and finally, uncover some really surprising facts in its cultural impact. Let's get right into it. Okay, first up, the iconic coconut palm. So what is it that makes this tree an instant symbol of paradise? You see one, you immediately think of a tropical beach, right? Let's break down what makes it so recognizable. Well, for starters, the sheer size of it is just incredible. These trees can shoot up over 30 meters into the sky. That's as tall as a 10-story building. The trunk is surprisingly slender and smooth, and that's because as old leaves fall off, they leave behind these cool ring-like scars. And then you look up and see that magnificent crown of massive feathery leaves, which, by the way, can be up to 6 meters long themselves. Just amazing. Moving on to our next section, an ancient world traveler. Well, a tree this useful was never going to stay in just one place. The coconut became this globe-trotting superstar. But how did it get everywhere? Well, as you're about to see, it had a little help from its friends. You see, its journey around the world is all thanks to ancient seafarers. The fruit itself is just a brilliant piece of natural engineering for long trips. And you think about it. It floats, it's water resistant, and most importantly, it's a portable source of both food and clean drinking water. This perfect little package allowed ancient people to cross huge stretches of ocean and settle remote islands all across the Pacific and Indian Oceans. And today, that ancient legacy has just exploded into a massive global industry. In 2023 alone, the world produced over 60 million tons of coconuts. And you can see here the top 3 producers, Indonesia, the Philippines, and India, are responsible for the lion's share of that total. So, Section 3, How the Coconut Palm Lives. What does this tropical giant actually need to thrive? And what kind of challenges does it face out there? Let's take a look at its life cycle and survival tactics. Basically, the coconut palm loves the classic beach postcard environment. It needs tons of sun, really high humidity, and that sandy soil that drains well. It's perfectly adapted for it. A happy, healthy tree can actually produce flowers and fruit all year long. But, it's not invincible. It's got enemies like the coconut leaf beetle and some pretty nasty diseases like leafy yellowing, which can completely wipe out entire plantations. Now this is really cool. You can actually estimate how old a palm tree is just by looking at its trunk. You see all those rings? Each one is a scar left by a leaf that fell off. And since a healthy palm grows about 12 to 18 new leaves every year, you can just count the scars, do a little division, add a few years for when it was just a little sapling, and bam! You've got a pretty good guess at its age. All right, on to Section 4, the tree of 1,000 uses. The coconut palm has absolutely earned its nickname. In Sanskrit, it's called the tree of the necessities of life, and in the Philippines, it's known simply as the tree of life. And that's because, quite literally, every single part of the palm, from its roots all the way to its leaves, can be used by people. And this just shows how incredibly useful the fruit alone is. The tough, fibrous husk, that's called coir, and it's used for everything from ropes to stuffing for mattresses. The white meat gives us food, oil, and milk. The shell can be turned into charcoal or used for cool crafts. Even the leaves get woven into baskets or used for roofing. It's like a whole survival kit growing on a tree. Okay, let's clear something up really quickly because a lot of people get this mixed up. Coconut water and coconut milk are not the same thing, not even close. Coconut water is that natural, super refreshing liquid you find inside a young green coconut. Coconut milk, on the other hand, is that rich, creamy stuff you use for cooking, and it's made by processing the solid white meat from a mature coconut. And that brings us to our final section, coconut facts and culture. So beyond all the amazing practical uses, the coconut is packed with deep cultural meaning and a history full of surprises. Let's look at just a few. Let's start with the name itself. You see those 3 little holes on the shell? Well, back in the 16th century, Portuguese sailors thought they looked like a little face, so they called it coco, which means grinning face. The word neck was just added later on, in English. Kind of funny, right? And the fascinating details just keep on coming. So get this, biologically, a coconut is not a nut at all. It's actually a drupe, a fruit with a hard stone in the middle, just like a peach. And this one's going to blow your mind. Its water is so sterile that it was actually used for emergency IV transfusions during World War II. In parts of Southeast Asia, they even train monkeys to climb up and harvest them. It's wild. This powerful role really extends deep into people's spiritual lives. In Hindu traditions, for example, the coconut is a sacred offering. It symbolizes prosperity and blessings from the gods. But its cultural reach is truly global, from being a sacred object in South Asia to becoming a prized, hand-decorated souvenir thrown during the Mardi Gras parades in New Orleans. So, as we wrap this up, it really is something to think about. We've seen how one single plant can provide food, drink, shelter, fuel, and this profound cultural identity, all while figuring out how to spread itself across entire oceans. It's just a remarkable story of resilience, and it leaves us with one final thought. In a world that's desperately searching for sustainable solutions, what can this ancient tree of life still teach us today? Alright, that is it for this video, everyone. Thank you for watching. Please make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.